Nice spot there. SPY's up a little bit here, almost $2 after close. Yeah, I had that stream earlier today, and I kind of talked about this stuff, but um, I don't know. I mean, I'm a little biased, but I also think that with what we saw, maybe more so like NVIDIA related, we're going to see a much faster recovery. Um, you know, we haven't had a day like this in over 6 months, from what I saw. And I think, nothing bad happened. There's no real reason for this stock to be down 5%. Honestly, it was down 6.22% today, actually. The event went good and all that. But yeah, I would bet it's going to come back to all-time highs. I just don't know how soon. Could it come by the end of the week? Maybe. End of the month, I think there's a really high chance that it happens. So I don't know. Or the market's going to sell off into Trump's inauguration, and this will be down at 130 again. I just, it's hard for me to tell. I really don't want to see under 139. I think it has to hold this 139 to 139 to 141 area. Under that, it gets a little tricky for me. Wanting to continue to hold that swing. So I don't know, actually. Don't really know what I want to do. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. It's pretty insane. But I feel like there's other things he could be focusing on, but still. Trace, well, this is good to talk about because I think there's a combination of things that went on today to cause the big sell-off. I think one is a lot of things were right near all-time highs. NVIDIA has a huge percentage of the S&P. So if that falls, it's going to pull the S&P down, which is, going to pull other things down. But, just to show you guys, like Meta was up, within a couple cents of all-time highs. Google came up to all-time highs today. Obviously, we had NVIDIA up there as well. Amazon was getting close to all-time highs. A lot of things were just getting close, okay? So, meaning a lot of people are long. There's been a lot of buying. And if there's any sort of pressure, right, selling pressure, it's kind of like a house of cards, right? You just kind of, you knock one over and a lot of them can fall. So a lot of people are long, meaning if things start moving down, especially how quick they did, a lot of people just stop out, right? They just want to get out. You had Trump talking today. He was going off about, Panama Canal. He was going off on, renaming the Gulf of Mexico. He said all hell will break loose. Where are these hostages, guys? They were talking about if the hostages don't come out. Yeah, Greenland too. I don't know. Maybe there's uncertainty coming to election. I don't think that today really there's election uncertainty. Hamas has hostages. Okay, so I guess that's what he's talking about. So I don't know. There's just a combination of things. You also had JOLTS today. There was some sort of interest rate news today. JOLTS wasn't very good, apparently. ISM services or whatever it was didn't really have an effect, but JOLTS did. Whatever the number was on JOLTS made things sell off, right? So let's look at SPY here on a 1-minute chart. At 10 a.m. Eastern, this is what we saw, right? We were pretty flat to start the day. I was like, all right, we're fine, right? Some of these stocks are selling off very easily. Easy chance for things to bounce. And you saw the market tank, right? SPY dropped about 2 points in 2 minutes. That's a big move on SPY. And then everything else kind of toppled over. And like I was talking about, when you get a quick move like that, especially as big as that move was, you're going to have people stopping out. You're going to have not only people shorting it, but people that have been long looking for these. I mean, look at SPY here. SPY was at a critical spot to break out here. I mean, look where we opened, right? Right at this downturn, like a lot of things have had, right? Meta had one. NVIDIA broke out of his, all this stuff. So very critical spot for a lot of things to break out, meaning a lot of people are kind of long, have been long, kind of front running this. So, I know I've already said it a couple times, but you get a quick move down, puts pressure on those people, billions of dollars are at stake. So you get people selling. So to me, this is a very big overreaction. There was no massive problem today. It was, to me, mostly people stopping out. One other thing, I sent it in. I'll send it in here again, actually, for y'all. 'Cause some of y'all weren't at my afternoon stream. Check this out. NVIDIA had it's kind of a hard picture, but NVIDIA had over 300 million worth of bullish premium today. Got bought, and it was in the second place, right? These are like Mag 7 names, right? The companies I'll trade. The second place one, a 19.5 million bullish premium. NVIDIA had 300 million. That's over 10 times the second place one. So even on a big sell-off today, you saw a massive inflow of bullish option activity, which to me was pretty crazy. So something to consider. You say, well, how could that happen if we sold off so much? $300 million isn't market moving, guys. $300 million won't move a $3 trillion company. But, because it just seems like there's a lot of equity selling and then a lot of option buying. So it gives people time. They can go in with less, smaller amounts of money. But when you think about $300 million in calls, you have to times that by 100 because obviously every contract is 100 shares, right? So what would that be? 300 billion, something like that. I don't know. If all those are exercised, you know what I mean? So kind of that's one way to look at it. Yeah, even crypto tanked today. Yeah, it was just kind of like everything sold off. It was kind of just like some weird panic selling. I was completely caught off guard by what happened today. I think a lot of people were. Even guys at the firm I was talking to, they were kind of caught off guard. It's just it wasn't clear. That's kind of like the terminology they'll use. Like nothing's clear to them right now. They don't know why it's selling off. So they're not going to put risk on the table. Right. And that's something that I think we could all benefit from hearing and learning from. Is when the market's doing things that you're not prepared for, you have to be disciplined enough to not trade, even if it's a big move today, right? It looks like there could have been a lot of money to be made. Market fell a lot, but I mean, for you guys that are at my live trading, you could probably tell how enthusiastic I was at the open with these 2 A+ setups that I thought had a really high chance of working. If they did X, Y, and Z, and I was willing to put some big bucks toward it. We didn't get it. So, part of the risk management there is just kind of scaling into a position and then, taking that stop loss where I did, and then not, trying to freak out and play the downside and, do whatever. So, I think there was definitely some stuff to learn from today for a lot of you. I mean, when I see a day like today and see, how things were last night at close, and see where things opened today, and then see how the market reacted, this to me is a day where people could blow up accounts in a blink of an eye. Short week, contracts expire, faster than they typically would on a Tuesday. People aren't expecting that. People want to dip buy. Market's been so strong, and that's like the dip that won't stop dipping, right? So you just continue to add into a position, continue to add, and those losses just really start to rack up. So if anyone dealt with that today, more than happy to talk about it with you. I've done it before, right? It's just these are mistakes you kind of have to make in the beginning of your career to know that it's just so much easier to take a stop loss. As much as I didn't even consider the fact that these trades couldn't work. I mean, I was really confident with these, but those are honestly some of the times where it has a higher chance of not working, was when it looks almost too perfect. Yeah. Just a tip. I bought some NVIDIA 150 calls for next week. Really small. I bought one contract around 143, 142 and a half, something like that. Just kind of more of a YOLO, just to see if I can just pick up something down here. If it breaks under 140, I'm just gonna get out, whatever. Lose $100, but uh, yeah, I don't know. Just a crazy day. Yeah, Trace, Google looks great. Google's going to be one of my top watches at my stream today at the close. I was talking about like my top 3 to 4 watches for the next few weeks, for Q1 really for of this year. And it's going to be NVIDIA, right? Obviously, I mean, even though they have a pullback today, to me, this chart looks beautiful until today. So, I mean, if this recovers really fast, I like it. That 150 level is now a flat top. So we get up there, we break out of that. That's where this could go, 10, 20, $30. Maybe even get to $200 a share. I don't know. But NVIDIA looks great to me. Meta looks really good. Google looks really good. Even Amazon looks decent. I mean, look how similar these look, guys. And you can kind of see this downtrend having a lot of things. Amazon, Meta, NVIDIA, and Google. I don't have the downtrend drawn here, but you guys can see it. And then look at the overall market. This is SPY. Yeah, Tesla looks okay. To me, it's not the cleanest looking one, but it's still kind of the same idea, right? So maybe things kind of wait for Trump to come in. I don't really know, but I'm loving the way a lot of this stuff is looking. So Chimp, you're talking about TKs or mine? I think you're talking about TKs. Trace, I miss them up here. So Ethan, with big companies that have earnings, does it usually have an effect on the whole broad market? For example, Apple and Tesla have earnings back to back. Yeah, 100%. So Trace, back to what you were saying up there. I was talking about how NVIDIA had such a no, Chimp, you're good. NVIDIA has such a big percentage in the S&P, and Apple's another big player in that, and even Tesla's a kind of a player now, and Meta. When the biggest companies in the world are reporting, it's going to move the whole market, right? If Apple jumps 10% on it, insanely good earnings, the whole market's going to be up. Same with NVIDIA. Tesla could even move the market a little bit too. Meta, same thing. So you're 100% right. When you have a company like Micron or Intel or T-Mobile or something like that, right? It's a little bit smaller company. That's not going to move the whole market at all, because there's earnings all the time. But the biggest companies in the world, especially ones that are big players in the S&P 500, those will 100% move the market. Hope that cleared that up for you. AMD looked good too. Yeah, I heard AMD was running today. AMD and Micron didn't sell off nearly as hard as NVIDIA. Micron had some good news last night, gapped up, made a nice move up, and ended up closing down. It's like everything just got kind of hit on the head. It's like whack-a-mole today. Yeah, I did see that. Just a tip. I mean, he may talk about this is like a week-long thing. I don't know if he speaks anymore though. I know that was definitely a factor that he didn't mention it, but I mean that's for 2026. That's a year away. But as innovative as NVIDIA has been, it's like people want that just gnarly, crazy future expectation stuff to come out. Yeah, exactly. So that was definitely a factor today. But yeah, I mean overall, just what a freaking day for NVIDIA. But yeah, so I mean, other than that, guys, NVIDIA, Google, Meta, Tesla, Amazon. I mean, a lot. Those are some big names, and they're slowly setting up. I thought we would have some really really solid trades in the next couple days, next week, but we now have a lot of ground to regain on these to the upside for that to happen again. For those setups to kind of set up again. So we'll see what happens, but very very disappointing for sure. Trace, I mean, honestly, in the last couple years, the market's been more volatile than it's ever been. I mean, an easy way to look at that is pull up SPY. I'll go on a 20-year chart. Right. Look what the market was like in 2014, 2015, 2016. Had a good year, 17, 18, and then COVID. Market went straight up. Bear market. Now we're ripping again. So I think especially with a new administration coming in, right? We have Trump coming back into play here. There's going to be more volatility. So typically, summer times and holiday times are very slow. And last summer was pretty volatile, and this holiday break wasn't dead by any means. So, I mean, looking at SPY here, the last couple of days, I mean, it's just kind of gone up and down. It hasn't made any new highs or anything. So, I mean, kind of dormant, but also a big move up and down. So, typically they're not. So that's a good question to ask, Trace, because as a new trader, that's stuff you need to be asking. Typically, it's not that action packed, and it kind of has been recently. So yeah, we'll see. But pretty just it's today completely caught me off guard. I would have bet any money in the world that what happened today wasn't going to happen. So. A Google contract, I was in 200 profit, but decided to hold because I thought Google would keep going. The market sold off. Now I'm in red again. In contract match Friday. Markets are closed Thursday. Yeah. So, I mean, well, Trace, was your trade idea to swing it overnight? Or did you just end up doing that because the market sold off so much? I don't know what your account is. I don't know what a normal day for you is, but I would typically, if you see $200, it's as a new trader, your whole goal is to kind of create momentum and confidence. You're never going to go broke taking a profit. That's kind of where that human instinct with greed comes into play. And people struggle because they always want more. And I was kind of a culprit of that today. I mean, my NVIDIA swing was up, like $3,500. And I didn't expect a pullback like this, but that's why I bought an February expiration. Well, so like another thing, like kind of a rule of mine is if I'm really down on something, um, or even if it's a day trade and I've been red for a little bit, and it finally starts to work, and I get back up to break even, I may not cut the entire trade, but I'll trim it up. I'll just sell some small red, break even, small green, whatever, just to take risk off the table because it didn't do what I wanted. And I can always add back in, or if it goes back against me, then I'm in with less size, smaller red, and I can get out. If you only have one, then sometimes, yeah. I mean, so if one contract's your position size, then that's fine. Making $200 on one contract is pretty freaking good on Google. So I think maybe you got a little greedy there, but yeah, kind of back to what I was saying. If I'm red on something, especially because you were saying you were way down and it got back to break even and then green, you just kind of made a mistake just not getting out. even though it started working later on, I don't think it was your plan to buy in and be down a lot, right? So, I know that your plan was to be down and then go all the way up green and then continue to hold it. You just wanted to make some more money. And that's okay. That's just kind of a beginner mistake, and it's totally fine. You just got to learn from this. But this is really good stuff, dude. This is how I want you guys to be interacting in these lessons, because these more in-depth questions and statements and stuff that you put in front of me and just details, I can help walk you through this stuff a lot better. So really great job, Trace. I'm going to make sure I have you added as a friend in case just so you know, I'm not. I just added you. Cool. You got a Discord? Yeah, no, Google looked great, man. I mean, I can't argue with that. I would think Google is going to go for all time high, maybe 202, 203. So I could see what you're looking at. The wedge then gapped out of the pattern again, so it looked good. Yeah, so I mean, I completely agree with that. But then again, you could have had a break-even stop loss. There's always little things you could have done. But I'm glad that you're looking at the chart that way, because that's how I would want you to look at it. Gapped up, had the wedge, gapped out of the pattern. I mean, that's kind of why I held NVIDIA, right? So me and you kind of made the same mistake today. I mean, looking back, obviously in hindsight, I wish I would have just sold my whole swing. But gapping up, good news, all-time highs. I was willing to hold. I thought I could get another, $2, $3, $4, $5 out of NVIDIA. Yeah, so start Carl. Yeah, so I mean that's exactly what I thought too. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm not going to be looking to get too fancy tomorrow. We're honestly just going to kind of show up. I'm not live trading, so I'm going to show up and just kind of see what happens. I I want to see a recovery for sure, because to me the really juicy good trades are above us now, and we have to get back up there. But it could sell off more. I don't know that I see it selling off much more if it does. Um, my whole view right now is how fast can this recover? If it recovers really fast, you see dip buyers really come in and just buying pressure in general. You see this, everything bounce really hard. To me, that's boom. That's perfect. Good sign. Maybe we can get some of these trades by the end of the week or early next week. If we go flat and it takes 3, 4, 5 more trading days to kind of slowly get back up there, to me, that's not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's not really what I want to see. Yeah, Google was easily one of the strongest ones today, Trace. And then the whole market sold off. And that's just where Google's not going to have enough buying pressure on its own. And people are going to come in and try to short some of the strongest names to pull it back down because the whole market was selling off. But yeah, I mean, that's another dude. I'm loving what you're doing here. So you're seeing the market spies down, 1.13%, but Google, only ended the day down 0.7%. So it was actually stronger than the market. Well, the beta was at least. So that's really good. That's stuff I want you to be looking at. And, then you look at the opposite way. SPY down 1%, NVIDIA down 6%. Tesla's down 4%, Amazon's down 2.5%. Netflix only down 0.29%. So you can kind of see which is stronger and which is not. You think Apple? Yeah, easily could. Apple and NVIDIA could come lower. SPY could come down, down into this 580, 585 level. So right, that's another $3, $4 it could go. %. Love this, guys. Keep going. Yeah, Apple's just, it's just a big, slow, giant. Contracts are cheap, stock split, so it's not having many crazy moves. And every year it's just new iPhone, new this, new that, just kind of just upgrading the products you already have. Yeah, start Carl 100%. I mean, coming into a new administration, I think Trump's kind of game plan is very straightforward. It's not like he's hiding anything. He's been very vocal about what he's going to do. So I don't know that there's a whole lot of uncertainty, but a new administration, especially with some of these attacks we've had recently. Trace, yeah, definitely could. Yeah, I don't think Apple will be number one. I mean, I don't think it is anymore. Chimp, what do you think on that? This is stuff I want to talk about because I mean I only know what I know, you know. So you guys could see other news and whatnot, but yeah, I mean Apple's already kind of slowing down. It's in that maturity stage of its existence, you know. Maybe I'm right about what Apple's AI hasn't been. Yeah, I mean definitely. I think companies like Meta and Google are innovating much faster with AI and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, growth for sure. I mean, Apple, that doesn't mean their stock is going to tank, but growth wise, they're just kind of slowing down. You know, unless they need to come out with some new groundbreaking product, but they are integrating AI, but it's not that insane, you know. Yeah, so Paige, that's actually I should have mentioned that Apple is something I'm looking at to the downside if there's still weakness. So that's I love it. That's a great job there. I mean, we are there is going to be some major support around 237, 238, but what you're looking at is perfect though. Basically going to be looking at today's low 241, and change, looking for a break of that, and pretty much just going to be looking to target 240. Could it break 240 and come lower? Yeah, but I think 238 to 240 is such a nice support level. I don't really want to see it try to break that and go lower. But I'm only going to be looking at this if the market is weak. So great job, Paige. I'm glad you brought that up because I was actually looking at that and talking about that today. That is it's beautiful. I love that. Um, yeah, I mean, Trey said that's another good point. I think Tesla's going to be a big AI company too in the future, not anytime in the really short term, but that Grok thing they have, and they have freaking alien Elon too. So Nvidia's recovering here a little bit, up about $2 after hours. I would love to see Nvidia gap up to like 144, 145 to start the day, then recover. That would be great. But if we gap up and then make lows on the day, that's where it could get crushed again, back down to 140. So yeah, MSTR is definitely a big FOMO stock. I mean, I'm sure I got hit today with crypto. Yeah. So down 10%. It's just a very volatile name. I mean, a 10% move on a $350 stock is a lot. So to me, MSTR is I told myself you should buy this under 300, and it was down there for about 2 days for a little bit of time and then just bounced straight back up. So um yeah, just kind of crazy. But to me, this is something I would want to buy low and just try to catch another crypto run and catch a 50% return on this and get out. Yeah, Tesla could come down there for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna trade MSTR coin, Mara, Riot, any, Beto, IBIT, any of those Bitcoin related or just crypto related stocks in general, you're gonna want to watch. You're gonna want to watch crypto as a whole. Just like I would watch SPY and the Nasdaq. Um, I would watch Bitcoin when trading these stocks. Did you tease purchase? No, I didn't. Yeah, they popped a little bit on that news. Interesting. Yeah, and Trump. I mean, if Trump really makes America the Bitcoin reserve, that would be pretty insane. That would be pretty insane. Oh, look at old BA coming back up here. What am I doing here? Banks have been decently strong. Wow, this oil short. That was my play. I talked about this for freaking months. Would have been a shaky trade though. I would have tried to got in after the election. Yeah, the USA did. That'd be pretty crazy. The whole point of crypto though is for it to be universal. So I don't know how good that would do or not. Yeah, so Nvidia's gap doesn't it go down to like 138.88 or something? Yeah, 138.88. Yeah, so Uber had news with Nvidia today. It obviously gapped up and got crushed, but they do have a gap down here too, all the way down to 64.5. That might be a trade. Where's UPST, Lavian? I know you hate that now, but it's just gonna fill the gap. Yeah, USA coin. I don't know if that would work or not. What else you guys got for me? Do I use any screeners? No, I don't use any screeners just because my watch list is so small. When I first started trading though, and I was looking at penny stocks and stuff like that, I would screen for things, but I don't do that anymore. Yeah, did PLTR break 70? I think it did, right? Yeah, wow, straight. Well, no, not really. If it breaks right through 70, yeah, this got this weighs down for sure. Sam helps. Took the first ball of the day on QQ and made a bad, and my NVIDIA swing made profits look weird. I hit this one overall green day. Good, Sam. Yeah, NVIDIA is just crazy. Yeah, I think PLTR could be a pretty solid short. I'll ask some of my friends at the trading floor about it. I bet they're looking to short this, so it looks like a good short under 70. The whole quantum thing. I saw Shy posted about it. I would think y'all know who that is. There was something with NVIDIA and the whole quantum computing thing, and he said it's going to put pressure on those, like QBTS, but those are down, huh? And they're still up there pretty good. QUBT is another one, right? Yeah, quantum computing. Those are still up decently, but they've definitely slowed down. Trend Spider is really good. Yeah, so like I follow the Trend Spider page on Twitter too. Yeah, so screeners. So like when you say that, I think of like percent up or down, market cap, stuff like that. But yeah, there's all I know like trading view even you could screen for patterns, like chart patterns and stuff. So it's nice to scan for like wedge patterns, bull flags, bear flags, stuff like that. It's cool. I kind of forgot about that, honestly. Oh no. Oh, Latvian. What are those at? This is just gonna piss you off, but 3,000 a piece. Let's just look at this. I just did it. I guess that's the wrong expiration. Do you remember the expiration on this? Here it is. Yes, they're next to nothing. Another 3,600. Wow. What's your opinion on AMD? I don't really like AMD, honestly, trading wise. If there's a really, really solid setup, I'll take it. But it's just not a stock that moves well enough for me. It just hasn't done a whole lot. When you think about GPUs, um, you think NVIDIA, I mean, when there's solid news on it and it's running, I'm there. I'll trade it. But it's not something I like to look at every day. It looks like it closed the year on lows, which is kind of interesting. So that kind of sums up what I'm talking about here. But I mean, to me, it's like number one, NVIDIA, number two, AMD. So, I just think they've been a little bit slow, but, who knows? 2025 could be their year and they've ripped through all time highs and we'll be trading it. It'll be in play. But yeah, it's definitely kind of been left out. Yeah, PLT, I would say a good short. You're going to buy the 5070 GPU, Zuma? Yeah, I don't know that I want to spend 2 grand on what was it, the 5090 or whatever, but that 5071, and it gives you yeah, it's like $500 and it has the same power as a 4090. I'm like, what? Everyone who bought a 4090 for 2-3 grand, they're gonna be pissed. Those just lost so much value. Yeah, I got a 3080 and it works fine for gaming and stuff for the most part. Yeah, even a month ago. Yeah, revenge. Yeah. Oh, sad does. Okay, cool. We can wrap this one up in about 5 minutes, and I'll go popping over on that sad. I want to listen to that. I haven't really gotten to listen to many of them. Thoughts on strictly day trading QQ for the rest of the year. These other stocks, yeah. I mean, look, if you're going to be a futures trader, Sam, and you're good at it, stick to it. There's guys that trade futures for a living. It's just not. I like to use futures as a tool, not so much a trading instrument. That's just me. Find what works good for you. All right, Carrie, take care. Yeah, I'll pop over there on SAD here. We can wrap this up any minute when you guys are done. I'll never buy an NVIDIA GPU of Team Red all the way, but they are by far superior one. As much as yeah, sick man. I hate when that happens. Nice, TK. I have a standing desk. I never really use it to stand up. I have a couple times, but I have so many cords and stuff. It's like if one isn't long enough, it screws it up. So, um, this is a Thinkorswim chart. Yeah, Zans, have a good night, dude. Yeah, it was a rough day today, Trace. Yeah, so this is a Thinkorswim chart. Steel Dog. I love Thinkorswim for charting. I don't buy and sell on it anymore. What's the sad price right now? Are we still above 3? Oh wow, 3.4? What? Hang on. Yeah. That's what I like to see right there, baby. Go. Awesome. One second. Let me pull up this chart here. Wow. This thing is freaking running. I wonder what, I mean, obviously the Coinbase thing was good, but I wonder like what's bringing in this much buying so quickly. I mean, obviously we just got on Coinbase, but like, do people see that? Is there scanners for that? Like, how does that instantly bring in buying pressure? Is kind of what I was thinking. I'm fairly new to trading, but locally APLD is putting up a site, and I don't know how many people here are looking at it. I think it's a hidden gem. 1,000. Yeah, Vex, of course, of course. I'll add you as a friend as well. I do this just so you don't get a scam, Ethan. I just added you. So if you ever need anything, reach out. When you guys are ready for premium, please reach out to me and I'll get you set up. But so APLD, I heard about this a little while ago. So look, I mean, I'm not going to call it insider trading, but I've had instances like that in my life where you see, there was a micron facility getting put in near where I live, and I traded. I bought long dated options on it and ended up making money. So I mean, it's not like it's private information; it's public. So um, uh, if the thing is, if that's not in the news and you can see it before the news, you want to get in before the news. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to buy anything, of course, but if it's a big facility and this is going to actually be like somewhat substantial for the company, could be a hidden gem. So just make sure you buy enough time on the options. What's the benefits to Thinkorswim, like more advanced than the competitors? I don't know, honestly. I mean, I think Thinkorswim is definitely more advanced than like Webull, TradingView, Robinhood, obviously. But then there's things that are more advanced. Like my interactive brokers is much more advanced than Thinkorswim. But Thinkorswim is a great, great, great platform. It's going to be a lot for new traders, but I started on it and I'll continue to use it, I think, forever because I know it so well. Um, Great charting tools. Charts look great. To me, everything is just good on it. So again, for a new trader, it's going to be somewhat, overwhelming, but over time you will learn it. I know it like the back of my hand. So if you end up getting it, have questions, I could walk you through everything in 5 minutes. Last question for me: do you see market rebound tomorrow, or just more panic sell-off? Honestly, I don't know. I don't see it going much lower, but it could go a little bit lower. Um, but not a whole lot. I want to see a rebound, and I think that if we see an aggressive rebound, it's going to be really good for us. So, but I don't know, Trace. No one knows. NVDA back to the 8 mil shares. That's pretty substantial, Vex. So I don't know. Something to consider. Maybe do a little research. CDP on YouTube. We were just talking about PLTR. I think PLTR could be a nice short under $70. I think under 70, it's going to be solid for a downside trade. Long term, I like it to the upside, but short term, I think shorting it on a break and hold under $70 a share looks solid. Anyways, yeah, guys. Anything else? We can wrap this up. I want to go listen to Sad a little bit. Sad meeting. Yeah, no, Trace, 100%. Yeah, Vex. Anytime, man. I hope you join my live tradings. I typically do free live trading Tuesday and Thursday mornings, but Thursday the market is closed, and then that night it's a premium lesson. But Tuesday, Thursdays I do free live trading, and then Monday and Friday is premium live trading at market open. So I trade the first hour of the day live with everybody, and just in case you didn't know, but anyways, yeah, guys, I think that's it for me. So if there's anything else, fire away. If not, let's wrap it up. Yeah, Trace, anytime, dude. You had some really, really good questions tonight and statements. So I appreciate that. I really do. That's what I want from everyone. It helps you, it helps everyone. Zuma, always, my man. Thank you. Stickman, as always, it's a pleasure. TK, you as well. I am not live in the morning. I know. I'll be in the chats though. Yeah, thanks, Kareem. Just made your cast off. All right, cool. All right, Kenny Penny, have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the chats. Adios.